Now look very carefully, because one of these things just doesn't belong here. Is it the apple, or the ice cream cone, or the mitten, or the hamburger?
There is a deep and dark, ugly truth that people who support fat acceptance do not want to accept.
Remember when I was younger, I used to feel so bad about eating snacks, especially like after I ate food, like a meal, you know? I'm so happy eating snacks. Why wouldn't I eat them? You know what I'm saying?
Not only do they want to ignore the health implications that obesity and morbid obesity entail, but they also want to deny the fact that they are literally cutting years off of their life. I don't think it needs to be repeated and said over and over again that being overweight, being obese, being morbidly obese, the fatter you are, the higher your chances of things like diabetes, heart attack, stroke, certain types of cancers. All those comorbidities come along. The fatter you get, the worse they usually are. It's affecting their joints. Having extra weight on your bones, on your muscles, on your joints is ultimately going to have an effect on your body. You can't tell me that you've lived and you've had the best experience of life until you've lived in a body that's healthy. You haven't felt the best you could feel. You haven't experienced the best that life has to offer until you've experienced it inside of a body that's healthy.
But what is your view, and how have you reacted to the criticism against you?
Well, I mean, fat people exist. There's no question about that.
But it's whether we should be celebrating a body image which is medically defined as highly dangerous. And I'll explain why. If you don't mind me just going through some stats here. You're 36 years old, you're 5'4", you're 380 pounds, 27.1 stone, and your BMI is 64.6. Now, the BMI ranges, according to the World Health Organization, anything over 40, class 3 obesity, which is morbid obesity, i.e. a level of obesity which could very possibly lead to early death. Your BMI is 64.6.
Do you think that Angelina doesn't know all of this?
No, the reason I'm saying it is so that viewers can understand the debate properly. My argument is this, is that when you are that level of morbid obesity statistically, is it right to put people like yourself into a pop video celebrating that kind of weight?
Honestly, if you were really concerned about people being obese and representing something bad, you would take yourself off the air, because you're not exactly slim yourself.
Well,
right?
okay, I'm 220 pounds and I'm 6'1", right? You're 5'4" and you're 380 pounds. So there is a difference. I'm not morbidly obese.
Right, but you're still
I'm
fat
actually
too.
reasonably healthy.
You're still fat
I'm
too.
reasonably fit. Well, you might think I'm fat. Most viewers are looking at this and think they're not seeing me as morbidly obese, right? So you're perfectly entitled to throw the jibes back at me.
But you're still fat. You being less fat than me doesn't make, you know.
I'm not in a pop video, am I? Extolling
but you're
the
on
virtues
TV.
of my body.
You're on TV. You're on TV every day.
So you think that me
You're
sitting
on TV
here
every
now,
day. You're going to tell me that?
You think, just to clarify, there is a comparison between me sitting here now, 6'1", 220 pounds. I am reflecting and celebrating a clinically dangerous level of weight, you think?
I think that if you were really concerned about glorifying obesity, you would take yourself off the air.
But I'm not obese. It's just a statistical medical fact.
You're fat, though.
I'm not medical. I'm not even fat.
Yeah, but you being
I'm
less
not.
fat.
This is the point, though. My point is...
Okay.
The reason I brought this video up is just because of the sheer level of ignorance. You have a woman that refuses to hear what someone has to say because he's maybe 20 to 30 pounds overweight, and she's gonna call him out and say that he's fat too, so he shouldn't have an opinion on what she's doing. Like, I get it. Size 0, size 2, size 4 is not a reality for most people. It's just not. Unless you're a really small person. Like, there are very petite people in the world, but not everybody's gonna be that small, and I get that. I'm obviously not that small. I've talked about in several of my videos how I'm a size 10 or 12, depending on the brand, depending on the type of clothing. I know that I'm also overweight and that I need to lose weight, and I'm actively doing things to try and do so. Not necessarily for the look, but because I want to be the best that I can be. I want to be at my healthiest. I want to be at my pinnacle of health. You cannot love yourself. This is a contradiction to reality itself. You're not at your healthiest. I'm not accepting that. At 380 pounds, like, honey, you need to lose a him. This man weighs 220 pounds. You need to lose him. Like, you're literally a 5'4" woman carrying around this man on your shoulders. So you're carrying around an extra person. For what reason? Because you think it's sexy? Because you want people to love your curves and your voluptuousness? At a certain point, there's an extreme to everything. You can be thick, you can be beautiful and have curves. But then you can take it too far, and then you become unhealthy and disfigured. And somebody needs to say this, because it's not about tickling people's eardrums and saying something like, oh yeah, you look great, you look beautiful. No, you look unhealthy. That's the reality of it. Who loves themselves, you have to do certain things. Take care of your mental health. Make sure that you are not stressing yourself out. Make sure that you take breaks when you need them. Eating healthy, making sure that you fuel your body with the nutrients and minerals that it needs. Exercising a few days out of the week can literally change your life, change the way you feel, change the way you move. There are a plethora of things that you can do to show that you love yourself, but the main things are just taking care of your well-being, being hygienic, taking care of your body, eating right, and exercising, and keeping a low stress level. That's how a person who really loves themselves lives. Watch a 600-Pound Life episode and watch how devastating their obesity is, not only to their own lives, but to literally everyone that they are around. And you want to call this love. You want to call this acceptance. You want to make a lane for everybody. No, some lanes need to be kept shut. To put them on the front page of a magazine that's about beauty and fashion? No, it doesn't belong. These two things are not the same.
Can you tell which thing is not like the other before I finish my song? Now look very carefully, because one of these things just doesn't belong here. Is it the apple, or the ice cream cone, or the mitten, or the hamburger?
This is devastating, okay? And the fatter you get, the worse it is. And we need to come to terms with that. We need to stop being so kind and so sweet and just so worried about hurting people's feelings, because it's not about hurting your feelings, honey. Nobody's trying to hurt your feelings. I'm trying to get you to wake up, smell the coffee, start taking better care of yourself so that you can live the best life that you can. You haven't felt the best there is to feel out of life until you felt it in a healthy body. And a morbidly obese body is not healthy. All right, that's all I gotta say about it. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and have a great day.